we were just talking about Amazon, right, and how it sort of diversified its revenue streams. Cloud has become such an engine for profit for the company. Is it time that Netflix needs to start looking at other revenue streams? Can it compete solely on content alone when you're having all of these new players come in? Are they already looking at another type of business to keep sort of its cash burn going?
No, I don't think so. As I've said in the show before, I think Netflix benefits because they are so laser focused. They are not distracted by selling phones. They're not distracted by selling subscriptions for shipping. They're laser focused. They're all about how can we find the best shows and films and deliver them to our subscribers.
Alex, do you agree with that view? Is that enough in a changing competitive landscape?
It's enough from a consumer standpoint. The consumers will be very happy with Netflix in the coming years, and Netflix will continue to be a good company. It will not be enough from a stock performance standpoint. As Kara Swisher mentioned a few minutes ago, Netflix has taken 9 laps around the pool, I think is how she said it. But at this point, everyone's caught up. And so when you're running a single business, a low-margin business, and you're continuing to execute on that, you can continue running a good business. But when Amazon did that with books, eventually it took AWS to kind of push it over the line. And so I think that if Netflix continues only doing one thing, which is make kind of HBO-style movies and TV shows and sell it for a singular price, the reality is that the stock will not continue the growth trajectory that it's had over the last 10 years.
Simon, is it safe to say that, at least in the U.S., subscriber growth for Netflix has topped out? That seems to be at least the Wall Street expectation right now.
Sure. No, I think there's, I think another 55 million people are going to cancel their cable subscriptions between now and 2022. So I still think there is some upside available from people moving over, trying new subscription services, and the first one I think most people try is Netflix. So I still think there is upside. It's not going to be the dramatic growth we've seen in the past few years, but there is still room to grow.
Alex, these things aren't binary, right? We tend to say, oh, the PC is dead. It's not dead. Netflix isn't dead, certainly, but I wonder how much of its success is already priced in. When you got Disney Plus doing pretty nicely, it seems. You've got Hulu, of course, and my kids don't really care passionately about anything on Netflix anymore. They're looking at other places. Is churn going to be more of an issue for Netflix moving forward, and is the valuation at risk?
Yeah, I'm not so sure about the churn part. I actually think that Netflix manages churn very, very well. But the point that you made about your kids, and I have 3 kids myself, fundamentally the kids are attached to individual shows and specific shows that they want to watch. And so Netflix may or may not be in a position to continue being dominant. So while I think Netflix will continue to be able to manage its churn, and I agree with Simon that Netflix is the default subscription service that people subscribe to, I think that growth will be significantly impacted. I also think that as the sort of the final 55 million people start unsubscribing from cable, they're likely to enter the market with a free ad-supported service like the forthcoming Peacock, potentially ahead of what Netflix is having to offer. There's just a lot of options nowadays, not to mention, of course, Disney and the brand that Disney brings to the table. So I think the churn will be okay, but I think when it comes to new user acquisition, it's going to slow down, at least in the U.S.
Simon, last word to you. How does Netflix deal with that churn? One prime example, one of my kids loved Little Einsteins, went off Netflix onto Disney+. Do you think that Netflix can continue to create enough content on its own when it loses distribution to some of its most popular shows?
Absolutely. They're good at creating their own shows. They're good at sourcing and working with producers. So I think they're going to be able to continue to create new brands as we move forward.